As far as the thinking mind is concerned to do with awakening or liberation, it is totally and utterly irrelevant. It has there is simply no connection in that sense.
How about something practical?
Oh yeah, we can put doors in walls and make risotto. This is the creative mind. This is the practical mind.
Okay, so then
But
everything...
the dreaming mind goes on dreaming and only lives in the story. The dreaming mind lives in the story. What we hear when people come together and talk about this sort of thing is actually a story in the mind. That there is something out there called presence or oneness, which you can attain or which can be attained.
Okay.
It's a story.
Okay, so everything else is a joke, kind of.
It's a story.
Okay. All right.
Hello, Tony. I've had a bit of a conflict since this conference began, and it arose when I look around. I'm realizing I'm not the only grandfather here.
Not the only grandfather, yeah.
There's many, many of us here today who experienced the 60s and the 70s. And part of my conflict is wondering, the people that are sharing their wisdom, where are the young people? Are we sharing this at another time with younger people?
Well, come to Dublin.
Or are we just sharing it amongst ourselves?
There are teenagers in Dublin listening to this. There's even a 19-year-old who has already awakened in Dublin.
I'm very happy to hear that.
There's a lot of young people who are now hearing this because it has to do with anarchy. It has to do with the dropping of authority. That's what's happening in the reflection of the world. In the world we see at the moment, what is arising in different forms is anarchy. And in some way or other, that's reflected in the search for this, because already people are beginning to realize they don't need teachers. They don't need anyone. There aren't any beginners out there who need to learn and walk up the stair to the higher level. This is what's being recognized, and young people are recognizing this. The whole idea of authority has fallen away religiously, politically. In many, many ways, young people are seeing that authority is standing on sand. And so there's a sense already that there's something else that's beyond having to learn anything from anyone else.
Yeah, as I was listening to you speak, I've actually raised 5 young children myself, and I was beginning to think of some of the discussions that we had, me as the parent, them as, and I was beginning to think it was a good thing that they hadn't listened to you.
Yeah.
It would have made my job maybe more difficult, and then I realized that no, it would have made it so much easier.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Okay.
Hi, Tony.
Hiya.
I'm starting to wonder, is there individual experience?
Yes, oh yes. The way I use words, experience is a personal happening. It's something that happens for the apparent individual. The apparent individual goes around believing that what is happening is an experience for that individual. So it goes on reinforcing the idea that there is someone there having experience.
Yes.
Well, after awakening, after liberation,
yes,
things go on happening in exactly the same way as they did before, for no one.
For no one. But you continue to experience.
Experience, if you like, happens, although I don't use it in that way anymore.
Yes.
After a liberation, life happens. This and that is simply life happening.
Right.
There isn't anyone that life is happening to.
Right.
So anger, frustration, boredom, excitement, all of those things go on occurring for no one. That's what humiliation means. Humiliation doesn't mean that you are less than someone else. Humiliation actually means there's no one.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, I'm left kind of thinking that, I don't know how to say it, but the idea is to just be with experience in the moment.
But who's going to do that?
Not that I can, but,
That's the whole point. Who's going to do that?
Yeah, and I realize I can't make myself, but...
Yeah. But something there behind the mind hears and knows this absolutely.
Yes.
So there are many people that will walk out of this room hearing this somewhere behind the mind, and suddenly what will arise is the realization that there is no one. It can be momentary at first, but that is the awakening. There is no one. All there is this.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
I want to follow up on her question. Tony, do you sometimes forget that you're no one and think you're someone? I mean, do you move in and out of this?
Yes, certainly when awakening. For me, there's a period of awakening that seems to happen in time. It's simply the embodiment of the new perception that there is only oneness. Then there comes a point when there's no longer a sense of me anymore. So me and being meet each other and marry. And in that marriage, when all that's left is liberation, then there is no one, there is nothing but life happening.
I'm not sure if I got my question across. If you've sort of taken that leap and you've realized you're no one, and then maybe you wake up the next day and for a few hours you think you're someone again.
Yeah.
I mean, did I get that across?
Yeah, that's what happens usually.
Yeah.
In seeing there is oneness, there's a totally new perception that's arisen. Then the me comes back to report on that and try and do something about it maybe. But that's happening less and less now. But me and being meet each other in this awakening period, which seems to happen in time. But in reality, meing simply evaporates in the being, and there is simply being, liberation.
So sort of as you get more practice and you live in it more.
Well, yes, you do, but there's no one that can do anything about that. The difficulty up until recently has been the idea that somehow meing or the ego coming back is wrong in some way.
Yeah, I didn't think that exactly. I just wondered if, you occasionally get tricked or trick yourself, and then you go back to realizing what really is.
Well, nobody realizes what really is. When there is nobody, it is realized what really is.
Yeah.
Let's be clear about that. You will never become enlightened.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Hello?
Hiya.
Hi. When you said that seeing just happens, seeing happens, and that's seeing without something to be seen or someone to see, then my question was, then what is seeing? But then later you said something about experience. You used to say experience happens, but now you say life happens. Would that seeing be in that?
Well, yes, but in the end, there isn't anyone that sees that. Liberation isn't about being aware or being present.
I understand
It
that.
isn't about subject-object. It isn't about something happening here that sees presence or sees one. Liberation is there's nothing left. There's nothing.
Including
there's nothing.
seeing.
Well, seeing happens. There's nothing, and everything happens in that. There's nothing and everything here. Nothing and everything. Seeing life happening happens, but it happens in nothing. This is a mystery. You'll never get this.
Then why are you saying it?
There's no one here saying it.
Oh, okay. So seeing happens.
Life happens. Have you noticed? Life is happening.
Well, yeah, that's
you
what
think it's happening to you. Life is simply happening.
Right.
You're not standing there. Standing there is happening to the divine puppet.
Okay, and that was my question, is seeing happens is part of life happens. Not to me, to you, that I'm living, none of that, but it's all part of that dance or movement or isness.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And it's happening to no one.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Hi,
Hiya.
Tony.